Ladies and gentlemen, fellow villagers, thank you for coming on this solemn occasion to witness the unveiling of Penallt War Memorial. I'd now like to introduce a great man and soldier who was invited by the Memorial Committee to unveil the War Memorial. I give you the Mackintosh of Mackintosh.
I have been asked, I take it by your Vicar, to unveil the memorial because I have been a soldier for many years, having joined the army in 1870. Perhaps the principal reason why I was asked to unveil this memorial is because my wife and I suffered the loss of an only son in the war. I am now addressing others in the same position. That is why I am here. I come from the Highlands of Scotland and am a Cameron Highlander, and ever since I married, I have lived in Glamorganshire. That is the reason for me being here, and I feel highly honoured to unveil this memorial. I am now speaking in the county of King Arthur, addressing men who served in the war and in glorious regiments. I know that Monmouthshire was the home of a great many of the Grenadier Guards and other regiments of Guards. Also the South Wales Borderers, the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, and not least of the old Monmouthshire Militia. I am glad to see so many of the comrades present. I am a comrade myself. It is trying for those who are present, parents, sons, daughters, and widows who were bereaved. But this memorial will bring home to them the great fact that their country had, as ever, risen to the occasion in the face of the greatest of wars. Let me quote the lines of the days of old, namely, "For Romans in Rome's quarrel spared neither land nor gold, nor son, nor wife, nor limb, nor life, in the brave days of old." These lines by Lord Macaulay fittingly apply to the part the country took in the recent Great War. You cannot forget the terrible days of 1914 when your life and liberty were threatened. As usual, this country rose to the occasion, and we saw the results in what took place the other day. The foe had been humbled and beaten, and thank God it had been so. I cannot help alluding to what was written by another poet in Byron's Childe Harold. "Millions of tongues accord thee, and anew their children's lips shall echo them and say, Here, where the sword united nations drew, our countrymen were warring on that day. And this is much, and all which will not pass away." This memorial will always keep before you what was done by those who fell, and by those present that day, and now the duty of their children. You must never forget your country and what it means to you. I will say no more, except that I feel it is a great honour to unveil this memorial in the parish of Penallt.
I am thankful that the Mackintosh of Mackintosh acceded to the request of the War Committee to come to this and unveil the War Memorial. Of course, we are all familiar with the name Mackintosh. We have with them today the chief of the clan. There were thousands of the clan who would do anything to carry out the chief's behests and give their lives for him. I do not know the Mackintosh of Mackintosh as a Highland chieftain, but I know him in his old parish of Bonneville as an English country gentleman who is very fond of sport, a master of foxhounds in Glamorganshire, attending point-to-point races and very keen on agriculture. In fact, he owned most of the parish in which I had previously lived. The Mackintosh of Mackintosh was a generous supporter of the church and every good cause, and also was Mrs. Mackintosh of Mackintosh, who is with us today. She is keenly interested in the government of his country and the politics. Were not those that savoured topsy-turvyism and were a long way from the Bolshevism and chaos that reigned in Russia. One of the nicest incidents I remembered at Bonneville was when it was agreed we should start a Boy Scouts troop, and the Mackintosh was to initiate the movement. The Mackintosh sat in the chair and talked to the boys as a father would do, although he was a great soldier. He talked to the boys about duty and about the Scouts and the motto of the Scouts, to do a good turn to somebody every day. I especially remember how kindly the Mackintosh of Mackintosh spoke to those boys. When the war broke out, the Mackintosh had been a colonel in the Cameron Highlanders and Lord Lieutenant of the county of Inverness, and was asked to get recruits. This he did, and got nearly 9,000 men to the colours and helped to train them. They knew how the men were trained by the way they behaved on the field of battle. The enemy were dismayed when they were opposed by the Highlanders. When the Highlanders went over the top, they only thought of coming to grips with the enemy and being the victors or the vanquished. This war memorial is put up to the memory of those from that parish who fell by the friends of Penallt. I'm thankful to say that not all those who went to the front from the parish died. We must not forget those who fought and went to the front, leaving behind those who were dear to them and endured hardships and faced danger. We are glad to see so many present today who are comrades of the Great War. We are glad they had returned to enjoy the freedom which they had helped to win. But alas, all did not return. 14 made the supreme sacrifice. Let those who lost their dear ones remember that they died nobly in the highest and best cause, the cause of their country and the cause of their religion. There was a great deal in that to be proud of. They believed, having nobly given their lives for others, that they sleep in Jesus. That was the expression St. Paul used when he spoke of those who believed in Jesus, that they slept, because he did not want to dim the hopes of others. The glorious day was coming for all those who believe and slept in Jesus. Let them, when they come along the roads, to the post office, the fields, or the market, be proud of their sons, and proud that their fellow countrymen thought so highly of their conduct as to rear this very fine memorial to them. Let me finish by saying I'm glad too that your war memorial has taken the form of a cross, because it reminds them and us of the most manly and bravest, the most courageous man who ever on this earth, their Lord, Jesus Christ. May the Lord bless you all.